Hello and welcome back to Kim Reads as we continue with Happy Birthday Molly. Chapter 2, The Blackout. Molly did her best to make friends with Emily in the next few days, but she didn't get very far. Emily was always polite, but she never seemed to warm up. Molly tried everything. She showed Emily her most treasured possession, her nurse doll, Catherine. Molly's doll had sent Catherine to Molly as a Christmas present. Molly was sure Emily would see that Catherine was the most beautiful doll in the world. You see, Molly said as she handed the doll to Emily, Catherine is dressed like a real English nurse. A nurse? Said Emily. I don't think so. What do you mean? Molly asked. She comes from England. My dad sent her. And she says she's dressed like the nurses who work in the hospital with him. Emily straightened Catherine's cap and said politely but firmly, in England, nurses take care of children. Women who work in hospitals are called sisters. Your doll is dressed like a sister. No kidding, said Molly. That's great. I've always pretended Catherine is my sister, and it turns out she really is. Emily looked confused. She never understood when Molly said something silly or just be funny. She isn't your sister, she's a sister, Emily said. Oh well, said Molly. Whatever you call her, she's beautiful, isn't she? Very cool, said. Very nice, said Emily coolly. She handed the doll back to Molly. The first day Emily came to school, all the girls asked a lot of questions. They loved her English accent. She sounds like a movie star, the way she says, how do you do, and rather, said Alison Hargay. All morning long, everyone tried to imitate the way Emily talked. Emily herself didn't say very much. At lunch, Molly sat next to Emily. She tried to include her in the conversation. During recess, Susan asked, was your house ever bombed, Emily? Emily said no. Susan kept on. Did you ever see other houses bombed? She asked. Emily didn't answer right away. Finally, she said yes. Everyone waited for her to say more. Well, what was it like? Asked Linda. Was it exciting? What's wrong with these people? Emily looked frosty. I don't remember, she said. Gosh, how do you forget something like that? Asked Susan. Emily shrugged. There was a chilly silence. Finally, Molly said, come on, let's play jump rope. They all moved into the sunshine. After a few days, everyone more or less ignored Emily at school. She was so quiet that it was an easy thing to do. No one said it, but everyone thought Emily was a disappointment. Well, at least she's not a show-off, Linda pointed out. I was afraid she expected all of us to make a fuss over her. I thought she'd be stuck up, but she's not. No, sighed Molly. She's nice enough, I guess. She's just so quiet, whispered Linda. Everyone giggled. The girls were walking home from school under trees and buds. It was one of those things that start as winter in the morning and ends up summer in the afternoon. Molly had her sweater tied around her waist. Susan had her jacket completely unbuttoned and her arms out of the sleeve. She was only wearing the hood, so the rest still a flap behind her like a cape. Linda was the only one wearing rubbers and a hat. Emily even brushes her teeth quietly, said Molly. Where's she now? Said Susan. Mom is taking her to see her aunt in the hospital. Then they're going shopping. She has to get some sneakers, only she calls them plimsolls. It's one of her weird English words. Plimsolls, said Linda. She only pinched her She pinched her nose and said in a hoity-toity voice, oh dear, my plimsoll smells simply dreadful. I don't think that's very nice, Linda, said Susan. Do you think don't you think that maybe Emily's quiet because she doesn't like sounding different? Or maybe it's because she doesn't know the American words for things? Of course, I think she's weak and starving. She needs food. Mom gives her plenty of food, said Molly. But she likes strange things like sardines. She doesn't like normal things like cake. They all imagine not liking cake. What kind of cake are you going to have at your birthday party? Asked Susan. Mrs. Guilford was going to make that vanilla cake without eggs or butter or milk. She's saved enough sugar rations and chocolate to make frosting, said Molly. Said Susan. My favorite. If Molly doesn't want her piece, I'll eat it. Okay, said Molly, we'll share it. Talking about cake makes me want some right now, said Susan. Let's go see if Mrs. Guilford has any. But Mrs. Guilford said it was close to dinner time for any snack other than carrot sticks, so the girls munched their way down to the bomb shelter to play. Finally, Emily and Mrs. McIntyre came home just as the rest of the family was sitting down to dinner. The days are getting longer. Mrs. McIntyre said chill-fully, spring's here. Doesn't someone in this family have a birthday in the spring? She said with a smile. I do, said Molly. My birthday is only a week away. Have you decided what kind of party you want this year? Asked her mother. I haven't decided yet, said Molly. I've been thinking about it, and suddenly a loud, shrill siren screeched. Hooray, said Ricky Blackout. He jumped from the table. Emily shrank back in her seat. Oh dear, sighed Mrs. McIntyre. Surprise blackout. All right, everyone, let's get going. Jill, you close the blackout curtains. Molly turned off all the lights. Molly and Emily, you take Brad downstairs. I'll get some blankets and be right down. Molly was halfway to the stairs with Brad when she realized Emily wasn't following her. She was sitting at the table as still as stone. Come on, Emily, said Molly. Hurry up. Emily didn't move. Molly spoke louder. Emily, you just can't sit there. It's a blackout. We all have to go downstairs. We all have to hurry. Don't be scared, Emily, said Brad. No bombs will come. It's only pretend. Molly looked at Emily. Was Brad right? Was that the problem? Was Emily scared? She certainly looked scared. Her face was right. Molly's voice softened. It's okay, Emily, she said. We just have to... It's just practice, really. I promise. Emily didn't say anything, but when she got up from the table and followed Molly downstairs. We have these blackouts once in a while, said Mrs. McIntyre and Emily when everyone was gathered in the basement. They're a drill for us. There's not much chance of being bombed here, but we have to be ready just in case. So we practiced turning off all the lights down in town so no one could see our houses from an airplane. But I imagine you know all about blackouts. Emily was sitting in the darkest corner of the basement, a little apart from everyone else. Even though it was cold, Emily was wrapped in a blanket. Molly went over to sit next to her. She couldn't see Emily's face. Sometimes they tell us beforehand about the blackouts. Then Mom makes a thermos of hot chocolate. Molly stopped. She saw that Emily was shivering. Emily, are you okay? She asked. Emily sniffed. Molly realized she was crying. What's the matter? Are you scared? Emily shook her head no. I hate this, she said suddenly. Molly sat and listened. I hate sitting in the dark waiting. In England, back during the Blitz, almost every night we had to do this. You hear an awful noise, and then one split second of silence, and then the explosion. Emily shuddered. The whole house would shake. If we went on the street when the siren went off, we'd have to make a dash for the tube station. The subway, you'd call it. We'd sometimes have to sleep there with all the other people all crowded together. Molly didn't know what to say. Emily went on, but it was almost worse afterwards coming out again. A house you'd walk past every day would be nothing but a pile of stones. Sometimes the flowers would be growing along the path, and the path would lead to nothing. The house would be gone. Emily pulled the blanket closer. In England, bombing isn't exciting at all. It isn't a game. It's terrible. People and things get hurt. They get killed. You Americans don't know. Molly waited to get Emily, to make sure Emily was finished talking. Then she said, I guess we don't really know. We're safe here. And now you're safe too, Emily. Emily sighed, but my mom and dad are still there. Molly moved close to Emily. She knew how it felt to have be worried about someone far away. And in danger. My dad's there too, she said. I miss him so much my head hurts. Molly looked sideways at Emily. Sometimes I feel like a coward to have left London. Oh no, said Molly. I think you're very brave to have been in the bombing. You're as brave as a soldier. You're the bravest person I know. After my dad. If I were really brave, I would ask my parents to let me stay, Emily said sadly. Molly wanted to make Emily feel better, but even the princes of England have had to leave London, she said. I read in a magazine. They moved out of the palace in London now too. What's the name of that place? Windsor Castle, said Emily. That's right, said Molly. I read that they sleep in dungeons every night to make safe from bombs. They're as brave, and they left London. You're just as brave as princesses, Emily. Emily let the blanket fall from her head. Do you think Princess Elizabeth and Princess Do you like Princess Elizabeth and Princess Margaret Rose? She asked. Oh, yes, said Molly. I always love to see them in newsreels and magazines. I think they're so pretty. I even have paper dolls of them. You do? Said Emily. Her face looked bright. I have a scrapbook full of pictures. I even have pictures of them when they were little girls. Oh, how wonderful, said Molly. Do you bring your scrapbook with you? Yes, said Emily. It's in my bag under my bed. Could I see it? Molly asked eagerly. Of course, said Emily. Just then the all-clear sign blew, and the blackout was over. Molly stood up. Let's go, she said. Emily gathered the blanket in her arms. Yes, indeed, she said. Molly grinned, and Emily actually smiled back. And that's the end of that chapter. See you later.